So when you think of iconic heroes in modern media, what comes to mind?
Is it the many superhero from comic books such as Marvel and DC? How about the near inconceivable number of anime characters that captured imagination with their very colorful adventures? Or do you think of something like Lord of the Rings or Chronicle of Narnia? Everyone has an idea what their favorite hero might be, but no matter what that hero is, hardly any are as iconic as James Bond. Bond has been around for decades, first appearing in the Ian Fleming novels and then later the movie adaptations of said novels. And throughout that whole time, Bond has effectively reshaped the way we look at the spy genre in our media.
And that's why I've decided to dedicate a whole month to talking about James Bond.
So, obviously Bond has been in books and movies, but what about video games? Of course he's been in video games! Actually, he has more games than movies, honestly. That's impressive.
So I thought it appropriate to start off Bond month with the very best, very most favorite Bond game of all time. Goldeneye on the N64. Oh, this isn't Goldeneye? Oh no! Oh no! What have I done? Well, I guess I'll just talk about 007, The World Is Not Enough, on N64.
Developed by Eurocom and published by EA in 2000, 007 The World Is Not Enough was seen as the magic bullet to take down Goldeneye 64, and even though it was well received by critics, getting scores between 7 out of 10 and 9 out of 10, it just didn't seem to cement itself as a classic beloved by gamers.
Take more than that to take down Goldeneye from his throne. More. I said more. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
In any case, this paved the way for Eurocom and EA to develop other first-person shooters, or at least until Eurocom ceased operations in 2012, but at least Medal of Honor was pretty good, with the shooting and the World War II-ing.
Oh, I guess I'd better get back to talking about The World Is Not Enough then. But I don't want to!
So, let's get this started. Well, first off, there's only 14 levels in this game. Goldeneye had 20 levels, including 2 bonus levels, which can only be unlocked by what I can only describe as actual witchcraft.
Okay, I have got to stop comparing this game to Goldeneye, or else it'll just be that throughout the entire video. So, from now on, I'm going to compare it to... Alright, let's see here. No. What is this doing here? Come on. Pine cone, huh? Yeah, maybe. Alright, well. Picture of Mark. Well, okay, yeah. That'll do.
Anyway, the game follows the movie pretty closely, so I won't go into too much detail on that. More than likely, anyone who's picked up this game has watched the movie, so it's kind of moot to go into it at this time. So instead, let's talk about the gameplay. First off, the game runs remarkably smooth. That's because the developers used a game engine originally designed for the GameCube, which would release a year later. Kinda makes you think, why put this game on the N64 at all? Well, the answer is simple. Apparently, Eurocom and EA were convinced that this would be the fastest first-person shooter game on the system and that it would be a hit.
But instead, the game got mediocre reviews from both gamers and critics and now sits on the edge of obscurity. Much like Pierce Brosnan's acting career. I mean, current acting career. That's a joke, right? Right.
Why didn't they just release the game on the GameCube? It could have been a moderately successful launch title and been in a lot more hands that way. Instead, it released after the GameCube already was announced, and so people hardly bought it because they were saving up for the newer system. It makes no sense! Any dang way, the game starts off at the bank where the movie begins. So after some pretty pointless objectives that I'm sure are just there to fill in some plot holes, we finally get some action. Yes! And wait, that's the gunshot sound? I guess it sounds vaguely like a gunshot, but to me it sounds more like clapping. So I'm about to finish the first mission and, oh no, I shot the sheriff, and I guess the deputy, but that is a bad thing, and now I gotta do the mission over. So how do I get past these security guys? Shock him with my fancy shock watch. Good enough. Then there's a mission about defending MI6 from a terrorist attack, then a mission about chasing that 1 gal in red, then a mission about stopping terrorists in a subway. I don't remember that one in the movie, which isn't a bad thing. Having something extra from the movie is definitely a thing I could look forward to.
Like in this picture of Mark, you'd expect it to just be a simple portrait, right? But look closer and you'll see a grilled cheese sandwich.
But I do have a complaint. Like I said before, there are only 14 missions, but 4 of them take place before the credits in the movie. That's over 28% of the whole game. And then the 5th mission is an on-rail shooter. Fun. And mission 6 shakes things up a bit by actually being a stealth mission. You have to sneak around disabling cameras and stuff, all without killing anyone, or knock them out with your dart watch and then run up and punch them while they're on the ground, killing them, but technically not killing them. Oh, and did I mention that this game actually has voiceovers for the characters? I mention this now because that's John Cleese narrating objectives here.
All of your stealth training to avoid detection while in the villa.
And funnily enough, he's the only returning cast member from the movie. Everyone else is just doing their impressions of the characters.
Welcome to my nuclear family.
I came prepared for a cold reception.
I actually didn't even realize they used new actors. I just assumed they ripped the lines directly from the movie. And each mission usually uses a good array of gadgets, things from key decryptors, safe crackers, phone taps, bomb diffusers. I kinda really like that part. Now let's talk weapons. There's a pretty good variety of weapons to choose from. There's pistols and some machine guns, but I know that's not what you're interested in, isn't it? This is the Sentinel. It shoots rockets, laser-guided rockets, but it works about as well as you'd think. It's on the level with the helicopters with the saws on them, but you only use the rockets against this one attack helicopter. Oh, and these 2 guys at the end of the level if you really are bored.
And then there's... no, that's the only cool weapon there is.
Everything else is pretty stock and what you would expect to see in any first-person shooter, but at least on some of them you could turn the laser sight on and off. That's not nothing, I guess. That was fun. But you know what's not fun? Unnecessarily easy game overs. Yeah, there's so many times I had to start missions over because of some bullshit reason. And I'm not just talking about accidentally shooting a civilian or security guard. That at least makes sense. But can someone please tell me why it's so hard to kill Davidoff, or sneak around his compound, or get on this fucking submarine? Any little slip-up can set you back instantly, and it's annoying as hell.
Hey, but at least with Mark's picture, there's a margin for error.
But this mission of getting on the submarine is the worst. First, you gotta take out the guards in order to prevent them from raising the alarm. If they do, that's game over, and it's really finicky. You gotta kill them in stealth, and if they hear a gunshot or see you, they run for the alarm. Oh, and you can also turn on an alarm too if you want. It took me like 20 tries to get this part beat. Then, it doesn't stop there. Then you gotta sneak onto the submarine, find and save Christmas, and keep her from getting killed.
I realize that sounds really weird if you don't know that Denise Richards' character is named Dr. Christmas Jones, but at least we could say now that Bond saved Christmas, and that's the true meaning of the season.
Anyway, Denise, because I refuse to call her Christmas anymore, likes to stand in the middle of gunfights and get shot, which means, you guessed it, game over. But it doesn't end there either. The last level is... Drum roll, please. An underwater level! Yeah! That's right, everyone's favorite type of level, in a first-person shooter no less, and with N64 controls and graphics. This makes it worse. Or is it the fact that it's a literal maze? In any case, this level is garbage. You get to hold your breath and try to fumble your way through. There's only a handful of enemies at least, but a lot of your health will probably be drained because of lack of air, and you gotta fight the final boss Renard and then escape. But despite all that, is the game worth it? The game has a few problems, but overall plays decently. I generally like the variety of missions in this game. It's not all run and gun and do the thing. You gotta plan ahead, but those easy game over really sours the whole experience for me to really enjoy the rest of the game.
Oh, and I guess I should talk about the multiplayer modes, right?
The World is Not Enough tried to compete with Goldeneye, that much is certain, and in so doing, they put a lot of effort into the multiplayer. There are more modes to choose from, like Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and King of the Hill. They also incorporated AI characters. They aren't too smart, but they can land a kill every once in a while. Overall, the multiplayer modes play like Quake. Nothing too fancy, but serviceable.
So if you want a good Bond experience on N64, then yeah, you should play Goldeneye, but if you don't have Goldeneye, then this is at least a substitute. Not a very good substitute, but passable. Hello?
Hey Pat, just wanted to call and let you know you left your copy of Goldeneye over here. You want to come and get it?
Mark? I thought you died.
Nah, all you did was pop my neck. Actually, it really helped with the sore spot I was having.
Oh, well...
So, you gonna come over and get the game, or what?
Yeah, I'll be over.
Here you go.
Alright, and here you go.
What's this?
Oh, it's something that you've been putting off for a while now.
Oh God! Oh God, no! No! What the hell was that?
I believe that's what we call a callback.